Hello?
What's up, girl? What happened after Tony dumped you?
Girl, I'm over it. I went from heartbreak to hate.
Yo, Bob.
Oi, Joy. Still nothing to rhyme with my name?
Oh, I forgot that was supposed to be my homework.
Yeah. Hate me with your face
Mob
and your soul.
Bob.
Mob Bob. Good job, Bob. I've not heard that ever in my life.
Yeah, I don't like that one. I would do something that's more ridiculous, like, you're such a knob, Bob.
A knob.
Yeah, going all British on you.
One guy called me Bob. I think we talked about the Bob, the dancing snob.
Did we though? I don't remember this.
Yeah, it was funny. Just because I wouldn't dance with a group of people.
You know
how I don't like to dance with a lot of white people.
I don't know that you dance a whole lot in general.
I dance. People have seen me dance. I've danced publicly.
As your eyes dart around all defensively, like
I danced at Pride.
Oh, okay.
I even danced to Beyonce at Pride. Shockingly,
was so sick that day.
Mm-hmm.
That was the bad thing.
You missed a good party.
I know. I mean, I don't know how graphic we want to get on here, but I was married to one room of my house.
Shittin'
that day.
and a gittin' is how we used to say it back in the day. Shittin' and a gittin'.
It was not good. You know those moments where you're just
everybody's family on the podcast. At this point,
where you're just sitting there and you just feel like I'm gonna die, or you go, I'll never eat again. I mean, the lies.
Or you've been like, I'm completely hollowed out, and then 3 hours later, it's still going.
Still going. You're just like,
You're
why?
Like, oh, why is this black hole opened up inside me, and all this stuff's coming from some other dimension? That's just like.
People do a lot of people do alcohol prayers, like I'll never drink again. My prayers are always like, I'll never eat cookies again, or I'll never insert whatever food I've had. I'll never do this again, and that's a lie. It's a full lie, but whatever. So maybe
lies that we tell ourselves.
I know. Remind me to fast next year before Pride.
That's an urban legend, Joy.
Oh, I like the way you did that.
It's an urban legend.
It is.
So today, whenever you're listening, this morning, this night, night.
Time is eternal when you're listening to us.
It is. It means nothing. Time is irrelevant and irreverent. So, we're going to talk about spooky stuff ish things. Right?
Stories, myths.
Stories, myth, legends, things that happen at Halloween, Samhain,
Okay. Yeah.
and all those things in between. It's a random episode. We're doing randoms for October.
Yeah. I mean, we're just kind of trying to stay true to the month.
Yeah, it's a topic where you here, talk amongst yourselves kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's family.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, do you want to start with
Akamanto?
Oh, we could talk about Akamanto.
Ooh. Do you want to talk about that first?
Yeah, sure.
So, it is a Japanese urban legend about a masked spirit who wears a red cloak. That's what Akamanto means in Japanese. And who appears to people using toilet paper in the public or school bathrooms. It's usually in an elementary school, because that's where Japanese people hone their scaredness. I don't know, they always throw children into the movies. I think that's their gig.
Well,
Put a school child.
It makes sense. Children are naturally more afraid of things.
Right. They have better reactions.
Exactly.
So he will ask them if they want red paper or blue paper. And then if you want the red, he will slit your throat.
Oh.
And if you choose blue, he will choke you to suffocate.
So there's no winning this game.
No. And even if you didn't die of one of those two things, you would get a yeast infection from using colored toilet paper.
Avoid unnecessary dyes and fragrances.
Absolutely.
Children.
live scent free. That's the lesson.
Like that's the real fear is the yeast infection
Yeah.
from unnatural substances.
I mean, I'm sure since it's in Japan, they might have more natural substances to die with, but so there might be more natural, but I think it's a country we've banned colored toilet paper, right? It's ended here.
I haven't seen it. Now that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I hate to say, it doesn't exist, because then immediately somebody is like, well, actually,
Somebody who owns a colored toilet paper
wait,
factory is crying.
As we're talking about fears and things we're afraid of, let me tell you what I fear. That somebody will say, well, actually, on the day that I have had it, and I will snap all the way off and grab them and then be put into handcuffs and hauled off to jail because it'll become the day that I snap.
She will become,
well,
actually, urban legend. Never say "well, actually" on October 10th.
Right.
Because the spirit of Joy Brown Ridge will have your soul.
Just reach out from the
beyond.
Thank you, and choke the shit out of you.
That shit black hole. So, Japanese, I mean, the thing is, the Japanese people get it when it comes to horror.
They do.
Their horror movies, it doesn't have to have a real killer. Like, the killer is actually the torment that happened in a place that manifested a creature to run rampant over anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's psychological. There's always children involved, usually some cats too.
Deeply psychological. Like, their stuff I mean, so many American movies have been copied off of.
Absolutely. Ring, The Grudge, all those have come from Japanese movies. It's amazing how scary this could be. Just that noise. That's The Grudge.
Mm-hmm. But you gotta wonder where all of that comes from. Like, why in this one country is it so deeply embedded?
I don't know. I mean, historically, they've been attuned with spirits. Like, there's a lot of spirits, whereas other places had deities and things like that. Japanese would have spirits of the water, spirits of it. So I think that they are just more attuned with not something that has existed because it's existed, but something that exists because not. I mean, I'm sorry. Let me take it.
I like that. That's a good. Okay.
So whereas you have gods that just exist because they exist and they do whatever they want to do, Japanese people say, "Hey, this was a spirit. This person. This happened to this person. This is why we have this." So
in some ways, it's kind of like the veil is thinner between the two,
absolutely
the living,
the mythology and the living is a spirit realm. So
I dig it.
And they could do some good some good animation comes out of Spirited Away is amazing. There's some good animation where it's just a simple ghost with a simple white mask on it murders your soul. Just
sounds so pleasant.
Yeah. And everybody wears schoolgirl uniforms. And any kind of...
Yeah, that does seem to be...
all their anime has schoolgirl uniforms.
I mean, it's easy. It's easy to just keep drawing that over and over again. It's easy uniform to use in a movie over and over again.
I've never looked into the actual uniforming of Japanese students, if that is just a main thing. Well, I could see that being...
Yeah, I can see that because isn't the idea a lot of American schools are going that too. Yeah, just no individuality. You know what I mean?
It's just that individuality can be a distraction sometimes.
Yes.
That is the key behind it, I believe.
Thank you.
That no one has something better than the other. It takes away a lot of those Jordans are really expensive. Yeah. And now, all the things we talked about when dating status last month, but
yeah. All right. Japan, ladies and gentlemen.
Japan, how you doing? Japan. We're trying to bring you into our fold.
Yes, listen to us. We do need.
I think we've only had one listen in Japan.
Ever. Well, I know that things are going to change as of this like nowness.
We will be spirited away to Japan. Japan, we love your culture.
And
Love you.
we choose no toilet paper. Thank you.
We do. We really do just choose to have shit in our underwear and walk away. As my grandmama used to tell me, sometimes you just gotta shit your pants.
Does she though?
I mean, she's dead now. I mean, that grandma is who I'm talking about.
Remind me off the podcast to tell you about the greatest shitting your pants story I've ever heard in my life.
Oh.
It's horrible and wonderful at the same time. Maybe I'll talk about it on another podcast.
Let's have a podcast about shitting ourselves. I'm sure that some listeners would appreciate that.
They probably would. They're probably like, this podcast is great, but you know what they don't talk about enough? Shitting.
I mean, it's like they're podcast gods. I just wish they'd talk about shitting themselves so that we could feel more human.
If only that was the reason. All right, so shall we move on from Japan and kind of run around the globe? We're going to Latin America.
Ooh.
We're going to talk about La Llorona.
Not the chupacabra.
No, not going to talk about that. A lot of people will know La Llorona because they made a movie recently about it.
Recently, yeah, last year, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Last Halloween time.
Ooh. The Weeping Woman or the Crier. It's like a famous oral legend. This woman who was married to a rich man and was like living the life and then had 2 of his sons. Next thing you know, he gone. Now he's picking up new women, running around. So basically a deadbeat dad.
Oh.
Tale as old as time.
True story.
And so in her new abandoned state, she drowns her sons.
Okay.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Drown her son. Okay, sorry.
Drowned her sons.
Yeah.
As one does.
Right. I mean, as is the logical answer, obviously.
Murder's not always the answer, but it might be the simplest.
I guess. And then is condemned to wander for all eternity until she finds the bodies of her children. But just causes misfortune to anybody she happens to run into in the meantime.
I mean, but what's other people got to do with it? That sounds like kind of like her problem at this point.
Well, once you become a tortured soul, you don't never take responsibility for what you've done.
Oh.
I mean, maybe she sees it kind of like, now this is me just inferring. Anybody she sees, like, you're the reason that my husband left me. You're the reason I'm in this mess in the first place. I could be wrong.
So okay. Well, I mean, she does her. She does her.
She does her.
Does she have a real name? Did it ever say like a real name?
They never gave me a real name. No. I don't know nothing about no real names around here.
I mean,
she was called Maria. That was it.
Okay.
But I mean,
I
feel like that's like over time it just developed into Maria because it's a common name.
Yeah, it would be like, I don't know. What's a common American name? Jenny. Jane.
Jane is not common anymore.
No, it's not anymore.
I'm thinking back when I was in school.
Amy.
So many. Sarah.
There
was a million Sarahs.
With an H.
Of course. I was like, is there any way? No, I'm just kidding. I've seen multiple.
Joking.
Hey,
SERA. Sarah.
Oh, I know one of those too.
Yeah, see? Broadening your horizons. One Sarah at a time.
But yeah, I think it's one of those crazy stories because it falls for me into that category of like the creepy woman that runs around and floats.
Let's be real.
Let's be real.
She has no feet.
She has no feet. She floats in like a white tattered dress with the long hair. Okay, give us all the fancy terminology. With the long hair, and it's like an apparition that you see that looks quite innocent until you get up close, and then snap. There's a lot of stories like that. There's a lot of movies like that. Why are we obsessed with bitches with long hair and white dresses.
Well, see, I think it's a whole anti-feminist stance.
Okay.
Because women always, that are ghosts, and weeping women especially, are always so mournful of what they've done. Where's this ghost that don't give a shit? Like, I killed them fucking boys. I don't care.
You want a petty ghost?
Yeah, I want a petty ghost. Can I get a petty ghost, please? With a chop, with a haircut. Because it would be really scary if a ghost had one of those chopped haircuts from the early 2000s with the spikes in the back, with some chunky highlights.
I knew that was coming.
And some bitch bangs. I mean, 2000s hair. I mean,
yeah.
The burgundy of it all. Just thinking you should have
the burgundy
hair.
/ blonde.
Yes, you have to have burgundy hair with the orangest, because you couldn't get blonde when she went burgundy. The orangest highlights. Horror.
Just a horror movie of bad hair.
I think that would be the amazing killer.
Like Manager Seeking.
Yes. The ghost just floats in. You don't notice that it has no feet. And it's like, I have this coupon. Oh, well, it's expired, ma'am. I need to speak to your manager. And then when you go to get your manager, you come back, and it's the disappeared. The disappeared hitchhiker story.
Okay.
It's 2 urban legends in one.
I like that. I like the way you did that. You doubled down.
Yeah. So
okay.
the urban legend of a hitchhiker is that you pick up this hitchhiker, you start talking to them, they start telling you about their life. They're really boring because they're dead. And then you're like, okay, whatever. And you roll your eyes and you look back, they're gone.
Yeah.
They don't do anything. No malice.
Just disappear.
Just disappear. So what you're telling me is this scary story is the best situation that can happen in my life. Some fucking boring person that I don't want to know about their lives start telling me their shit and then disappear.
Not everybody's like you.
And I don't have to endure. I mean, who's out there picking up hitchhikers anyway?
Well,
you.
That's why you don't. No, that's why you don't see that.
I've picked up hitchhikers.
I know you have.
I don't know why.
Listen.
I like a good story.
Picking up hitchhikers is a man's game in general.
I do like the chance of getting murdered.
I don't know how to respond
I
to
feel
that.
like picking up a hitchhiker increases your chance of murder.
Okay.
Or maybe it's my chance of murdering. Dun dun dun.
Okay, please incriminate yourself on the podcast if you could.
I have never picked up a hitchhiker and killed them out of not in self defense completely. Always self defense. Find me.
All right.
I've never killed anybody.
We've taken
Jeez.
I'm just gonna say we've taken a detour. We were talking about La Llorona, then we came up with the Manager Seeking ghost.
Yeah, what's her name?
Now we've got hitchhikers.
Lynn. No, not Lynn.
You need something that just screams.
Peg.
Peg is good.
Because her name's Margaret, and you don't know how in the fuck she got Peg as a nickname. Because that doesn't make any fucking sense anywhere in the world.
You're going to make all the Margarets mad.
I know. Margaret's, stay Margies. Even Greta.
I was going to say Marge.
Marge.
How do you feel about Marge?
It has a purpose. It comes from the name. Peg. There is absolutely no fucking P in Margaret.
I can't argue with you. Okay.
Someone out there tell me what's going on. I refuse to look it up myself because I hate it so much. Same thing with John and Jack. Jack is your nickname. Your name is John. It just makes my eyes angry. It's not short.
I'm
not
watching
long.
your eyes get angry. It's quite the process.
It's it's got the same amount of letters. It's just, I don't know. No. As a person who fully made up their own contraction name, I support whatever you want to go by.
I love the way you flip-flop at the end, kids.
Because I'm a white person. So.
Clowns. People are forever.
Scared of clowns, or I like clowns.
I do too. I think it's the experiences you had as a kid determine how you respond to clowns in
Right.
your adult age.
Right. Like if you found a hot clown.
Has there ever been a hot clown? Like, let's be real with
I
ourselves.
mean, I'm sure there's some really hot clowns out there with makeup off, obviously.
Right.
I mean, you're gonna tell me some of those Cirque du Soleil guys ain't gonna be hot.
I mean,
You know they
that's
are.
different, but that's not the kind of clown we're
They
talking
can
about. We're
flip
talking
over
about
backwards. Take
talking
that to bed.
bozo
Think
style.
about that up to bed.
Okay, wow.
I'll send you to another place. Non-sexy clowns, go.
Well, the craziest thing is that we were researching and we found out that some parents actually hired creepy clowns.
Wrinkles the clown.
Wrinkles the clown to hide in their kids' room
And then scare them into submission. That's some crazy shit. Like, that's some really fucked up psychological stuff.
That is really fucked up. That is at least 4 to 5 solid months of therapy time just on clown incidents.
In their 30s.
Right.
In their 30s. Because right now, what that tells me is that you got a child that's unruly and they will not pay attention. They're done. Santa Claus is fake. You can't hold that shit over me no more. Fuck that elf on a shelf shit. Done. You're going to be like, I got it. Let's hire a clown to wait in their bedroom.
Yeah.
And then scare them. And they'll say, this clown's been watching over you. And then every time they're bad, they know some freaky-ass clown's going to be under their trundle bed.
That is messed up. That's some new level shit.
I mean, that is not even right.
No.
That's like when people used to be like, oh, the best way to make your kids swim is just to push them in. That's psychological. That's damaging.
This trumps that.
Also, your child may die. I mean, you
There
don't
is
know the
that.
kid's heart. Have you had an echocardiogram lately? Your kid may have a heart murmur, and then you're going to put this fucking scary-ass clown in his bedroom? Dead.
Yeah.
Dead kid.
Well, parenting skills have evolved from the 70s, but I don't think parents are really still out here doing that.
I mean, was it the 70s? They said there was nanny cams involved.
I'm talking about the swimming pools, but yes, the nanny cam thing.
That's new. That's new,
That's
people. That's not
new.
old stuff. That's
Yeah.
new stuff people are doing today.
And I feel like it's because, fear of clowns has been a thing for a long time. So these are some parents with their own fucked up issues.
Right. They're already scared of clowns. They saw it the first go round.
Right.
They're our generation.
Yeah.
They just think that, and the thing is, some of them are doing it where they just record on their nanny cam the clown in the room to show the kid later.
Yes.
Like the clown doesn't even interact with the kid, so that even makes it worse.
It is like just throws a stuffed animal or something on their
this
bed.
kid's like,
Then
I
turns
was
the
literally
camera off.
fucking sleeping, bitch, and this clown's gonna come and do something when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing anything bad. I'm sleeping.
Yeah. So
If you've done this, we need to talk to you. We have to understand why. We promise we won't call DCFS on you. But deep down in my heart, know that you are a horrible parent.
I mean.
Could you imagine?
That's some next level. Like, instead, just spank me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing is, I remember back when my mother, I guess, maybe my dad, but my mother would be like, well, if you don't do this, then you're not going to get to do that. And I'd be like, well, fuck that shit anyway. I didn't want to do it anyway. You mean I don't get to leave the house today? I get to sit around the house and play video games? Got you. Don't put that over me.
Yeah, kids like you were the worst because there's no way to punish kids.
No, and I'm still the worst today, people. Don't think I've changed.
So I get parents being at the end of their rope, but we're just here to say that sticking a creepy clown in your kid's room is not the solution.
Juxtapositionally.
I just feel like you wanted to use that word.
I've said it twice today since we've been together. Anyway. The clowns in Chicago. The ones that would just hang out on the side of the road and wave at people.
Yeah.
And do nothing. Do nothing but scare the motherfuck out of people. Like, they were always up, I can't remember, is it Rose Hill Cemetery? They would be up at Rose Hill Cemetery, just on the edge of the cemetery, waving in a clown suit.
Now that would be messed up. Can you imagine, like, in wintertime when it gets really dark it stays dark all the time,
yes,
basically all the time,
3:30.
except for like 4 hours of the day, right, where it's light. You get up early, going to work.
Yeah.
Damn near pitch black. You're driving along and you just see a clown waving through like a fog. It kind of feels like something I want to do. Is that wrong?
I know,
But now I'm like,
I'm thinking Halloween.
can we
with,
get some clown makeup?
So you're saying get clown makeup and then
Get some clown makeup.
get shot?
Well, I suppose there is that. But if you're in public, you know what I mean? You're standing on a public street.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Not anybody's property. I suppose there's still a chance could get shot, but there's no grounds for it. It makes you, now you're making me concerned about my new activity.
I'm just saying that I think a couple of years ago, if I remember correctly, there were some people doing that scary clown shit that happened in Chicago, and people tried to chase the clowns. And it was just, I think it was like South Carolina or something. Someplace you don't want to do that shit.
Yeah.
You want to do that in a city. Don't do it in the country. Don't do it in a rural road.
No. Do it somewhere kind of liberal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Make sure there's no swamps
where
around.
people are going to be upset, but they'll get over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, most they'll do is call the cops. Which, what can the cops do if you're not breaking any laws?
No, so what you're suggesting is I go downtown dressed as a clown.
Uh-huh.
I just stand there and stare at people.
Yes.
Don't interact.
Mm-mm.
Just look at them.
Basically. Maybe wave.
Maybe finger wave.
Finger wave is extra creepy.
Not the full hand.
Not the full hand, just like
just the fingers.
The top. Bend your little fingers from the top. Yes.
Really slow.
Kind of like you're trying to like claw at something. I like that.
I like it. If it's dark at 3:00, I think we should do it at all businesses in downtown. Don't shoot us. This is for science.
It's an experiment.
It's an experiment in people.
Research. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're definitely out there trying to please the people. But I feel that with It Part 2 coming out or being out, and the new Joker movie, which is something else we can talk about some other time, people might not be up for it.
Well, the other thing is, I mean, this Halloween, everybody's going to be a Joker or a clown.
Yeah, it's like Halloween Part 2 where people were dressed up like Michael Myers, even though it was technically the same night. So there was no way anybody could even know that Michael Myers existed. But they just happened to have the same costume as Michael Myers. And then what happens? They shoot him. They shoot at him. Gun gets pulled away. Kid's scared, starts running across the road. Gets pinned between a car and a van. Dead.
Okay.
Halloween Part 2. 1980.
Okay.
I think it was Ben Tramer. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clowns.
No, it doesn't have to be on clowns anymore.
You like clowns though, because you have that clown thing.
Yes.
The musical clown.
Musical clown. Like you twist his nose and a little lullaby comes out.
Lullaby, like singing the clowns.
Yeah. So
Ding,
what?
ding, ding.
So yeah. I mean, that was something that put me to sleep every night when I was a kid. My mom would twist it and play it, and so, I always thought he was a happy clown. I was into clowns.
Do you think that clowns are like celiac disease? That some people, I know this is a common thread on this podcast.
Yes, that's why I'm smiling.
Some people actually have that fear of clowns, and some people just say they have a fear of clowns.
It is kind of a popular thing to say and a thing to agree with.
Yes.
Like, it's true. Like somebody really is creeped out, and they're like,
there are people who are
out too, and they're like, no, they
petrified of clowns.
Yes.
Like seriously scared of clowns.
They're out there. But you're right. There's a lot of people that just like play, oh, they creep me out. And you're like, okay.
You know, I don't know. What would you say creeps me out, Joy? Let's play a little game.
Stupid people. Is that a correct answer?
Stupid people. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm not scared of ghosts. Like, I welcome that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to more spirits.
Right.
I'm not scared of clowns.
Mm-mm.
I'm not scared of... No, I am scared. There's a deep fear. I won't get into it. It's political.
Oh, okay.
So, do you have anything else? Any slight scary stories or things?
I don't think of... No, nothing like that you would take seriously.
And remember that to be beautiful and natural is the birthright of every woman. And I wish you all loads and loads of loveliness and good luck.